Alaska, America's last frontier. It's a sanctuary of unspoiled nature, teeming with diverse wildlife, dramatic scenery, housing approximately 100,000 glaciers, and boasting 34,000 miles of coastline. Yet, hidden within its wild terrains are mysteries and mind-boggling discoveries that continue to baffle scientists to this day. Acquired from Russia for a mere $7.2 million, a sum equivalent to about $150 million today, Alaska's purchase was initially mocked as a monumental blunder by the United States. Why would they shell out such a considerable sum for what appeared to be barren wilderness? Yet this transaction would prove to be a masterstroke for the U.S. This empty nothingness revealed itself to be a natural treasure trove, bursting with invaluable resources that have profoundly shaped America's economic and environmental landscape. More than anything, Alaska today represents the ultimate frontier for the country, a place where the bold can strike it rich, as long as they're tough enough to survive. Alaska is easily the biggest state, more than twice the size of Texas, which is the next biggest. However, the downside is that a lot of its land is either owned by the federal government or just too harsh to live on because of the tough climate conditions. As they say, it's a land of extremes in every sense. The climate swings from the long, harsh winters to surprisingly warm summers, shaping a lifestyle that is as much about resilience as it is about celebration. This stark contrast is woven into the very fabric of Alaskan life, making it a place where tradition and modernity coexist beautifully. As you travel through the state, you'll discover a dynamic culinary scene that serves everything from freshly caught seafood to innovative dishes that blend traditional native ingredients with modern flavors. Even its architecture, too, tells a story of adaptation and creativity, ranging from indigenous-inspired designs to contemporary structures built to withstand the harsh Alaskan environment. One could argue that Alaska's northern geographical position is both a blessing and a curse. Nestled atop vast natural riches, it finds itself in an enviable spot. On the other hand, as nations scramble to claim the Arctic's abundant resources, Alaska has become the focal point of escalating tensions. This fierce rivalry positions the region at the center of a brewing storm, likely to become an intense battleground for control. The emergence of new shipping lanes is poised to reshape global trade routes, while strategic military positioning in this region elevates Alaska from a mere participant to a critical battleground in the arena of global geopolitics. As nations vie to establish a foothold in this new frontier, it could quickly become a flashpoint for military tensions. The U.S., in an effort to safeguard its interests, may ramp up its military presence, which could escalate into a high-stakes standoff, particularly with Russia, a nation already enhancing its military capabilities in the Arctic. But beyond the political maneuverings that's present in this part of the world, it also has a deep, rich history. Despite its often harsh and unforgiving landscapes, Alaska has been a cradle of human history for thousands of years. With its dramatic landscapes, this region has always been a beacon for archaeologists and curious scholars. And indeed, the land delivered, revealing some of the most extraordinary discoveries that have the potential to reshape our understanding of human history. Let's now dive into these shocking discoveries, shall we? Underground Dark Pyramid. Beneath the untamed landscapes of Alaska lies a classified secret, known only to a chosen few. An enormous pyramid of mysterious origin, covertly identified as the Dark Pyramid. This immense subterranean structure is believed to surpass the size of the renowned Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, suggesting it could be 4 times larger. Much of the information we have about this mysterious structure came from Douglas A. Muchler, a former counterintelligence officer for the U.S. Army stationed at Fort Richardson, just outside of Anchorage, Alaska. When he was first assigned to the area, he reviewed operational maps as part of his routine duties. On the map, he noticed a large area conspicuously labeled, "This area not surveyed to date." This unexplained omission stood out. He thought to himself, something is being hidden in that region. As he was familiar with the military's strict need-to-know protocol, he initially chose to ignore it. It would take years later before he would be able to piece out this puzzle. He was watching an evening news report detailing how the subterranean scans in Alaska had uncovered something astonishing. An underground pyramid located 80 kilometers southwest of Mount McKinley. Tunnels and elevator shafts were then excavated, allowing researchers to explore this remarkable structure hidden beneath Alaska's wilderness. What really caught Doug's attention was that the pyramid's location matched the spot on the map where he had previously noticed the uncharted area of Alaska. Suddenly, it all made sense. This was the hidden secret the government had been concealing in that mysterious region. He then decided to dig deeper into government documents in an attempt to uncover the truth, only to be confronted by two mysterious officials who confiscated the files and reiterated that he lacked the necessary security clearance. 2 decades later, Doug mustered the courage to contact Linda Moulton Howe, a celebrated investigative journalist and UFO expert, captivated by unexplained phenomena. In his email, Doug revealed his belief that the government was concealing a colossal pyramid-like structure beneath Alaska's surface. In July 2012, Linda unveiled the existence of the Dark Pyramid to the public during her appearance on the Coast to Coast AM radio show, featuring a pre-recorded interview with Doug. It was then that some informants who have knowledge and experience with the mysterious pyramid came out. One cryptic phone call that she had was from a man on the East Coast who corroborated Doug's claim. He asserted that he had personally seen the massive underground pyramid in Alaska. It became clear to Linda that the caller had insider knowledge about the pyramid. According to him, it was a formidable structure made of dark stone, measuring 550 feet from base to top. His detailed account lent further credibility to the existence of this hidden wonder. Another anonymous woman reached out to Linda, claiming to be a remote viewer. During her remote viewing session, she provided a detailed description of the pyramid and its surroundings, suggesting that its purpose was to harness the Earth's energy. What truly astonished everyone was her implication of potential extraterrestrial involvement, describing a humanoid figure guiding a group within the pyramid. Another account came from an individual, known solely as the 46-year-old adopted son of a retired Western Electric engineer. He asserted that his father had informed him of the existence of a dark pyramid in Alaska. Furthermore, he revealed that his father had been involved in working on a potent electrical system within it during the early 1960s. However, to date, no physical evidence has been uncovered to confirm the pyramid's authenticity. With sparse information and only a handful of alleged military personnel coming forward, the true origins, or even the very existence of this pyramid, remain cloaked in mystery. Who were its builders, and what was their purpose? Some speculate that an extraordinarily advanced civilization, or perhaps even extraterrestrial beings, might have crafted the structure. This theory raises the question, could this be why authorities are determined to keep the existence of this structure a secret? Battleground for black gold. You might think Alaska is just a wild, remote place, but it's actually a battleground in a global tug-of-war for black gold, oil. This land, full of secrets and beauty, hides a massive amount of oil beneath its surface. Oil and Alaska have a complicated and often rocky relationship. On one side, oil has been a blessing, creating jobs and boosting the state's economy for years. But on the flip side, the quest for oil poses a serious threat to its untouched wilderness and the creatures that call it home. Here's where things get intriguing. Alaska holds a vast treasure of untapped oil reserves, amounting to billions of barrels. It's like discovering a treasure chest in your backyard. But this treasure isn't just about potential wealth. It also carries the risk of destroying the state in the process of exploiting it to its fullest. As the U.S. strives to become a global oil powerhouse, Alaska finds itself at the heart of the action. On the plus side, increased oil production promises more jobs and revenue for the state. But it's not that simple. The scramble for more oil puts tremendous pressure on Alaska's delicate ecosystems and indigenous communities. This wild and beautiful land could soon be overrun by drills and pipelines. With oil prices high enough to make drilling lucrative, especially in key areas, expect fiery debates about the pros and cons of tapping into Alaska's oil reserves. This raises some big questions. How far is the government willing to go for oil? Is it worth risking Alaska's unique landscapes and traditions? We'll have to hope they can find a win-win strategy, balancing economic prosperity with environmental preservation. Bering Land Bridge. When the Bering Land Bridge surfaced, connecting Asia to Alaska, it paved the way for one of humanity's greatest migrations. Yet, recent studies challenge the long-standing belief that this bridge existed 70,000 years ago, long before the last glacial maximum. A team of scientists from Princeton discovered that the Bering land bridge was submerged until about 35,700 years ago. It only fully surfaced shortly before humans began migrating into the Americas. This revelation significantly narrows the time frame in which humans could have traveled from Asia to the Americas via this route. While the exact timing of human migration into North America remains unclear, genetic studies indicate that ancestral Native American populations diverged from Asian populations around 36,000 years ago, the same period that the Bering land bridge emerged. It was once thought that the Bering land bridge remained open for an extended period, allowing humans to cross at their leisure. But new evidence tells a different story. The bridge was submerged until it suddenly became passable, prompting a swift and daring migration into North America. This sudden movement marked the beginning of the journey for the ancestors of Native Americans. This finding raises intriguing questions. Why did humans decide to migrate as soon as the land bridge became accessible? And how did they navigate this new and unknown landscape? While we may not have all the answers yet, one thing is certain. Our ancestors weren't afraid to try new things. 36,000-year-old steppe bison for dinner. Back in 1979, gold miners working in the Alaskan permafrost made an extraordinary discovery. An amazingly preserved steppe bison, which they named Blue Babe due to its bluish hue caused by a coating of blue iron phosphate. This now extinct species of bison, larger than its modern relatives, roamed Europe, North America, and Asia during the Ice Age. Weighing nearly a ton, Blue Babe was one of the largest known bison from Eurasia. What made this discovery even more remarkable was the condition of the specimen. Claw marks on the rear of the carcass and tooth punctures in the skin suggest that the bison met its end at the claws of an Ice Age American lion. Evidence points to the bison's death occurring in the fall or winter, when temperatures were plummeting. The carcass likely cooled rapidly and soon froze, making it challenging for scavengers to consume. The bison retained most of its body, including intact skin and horns still attached to its skull, showcasing exceptional preservation. The state of the carcass was so remarkable that scientists concluded its flesh might still be edible. In a surprising twist, they decided to put this theory to the test. A paleontologist cut off a piece of the bison's neck, which was then cooked into a stew for a dinner party. The guests noted that it had an aroma reminiscent of beef, earth, and mushrooms. While the taste wasn't terrible, it was described as less pleasant than beef jerky. Remarkably, no one fell ill from this prehistoric meal. Rediscovery of the wooden fort. Researchers in Alaska have finally pinpointed the elusive location of a 19th century wooden fort using advanced radar technology. For over a century, the fort's exact site remained a mystery to investigators. While earlier archaeological digs uncovered tantalizing hints, they never managed to piece together conclusive evidence to confirm the fort's existence. The fort's significance cannot be overstated. It was the last line of defense before Russia's six-decade occupation of Alaska commenced in 1804. The Tlingit people built Shiskanu, or the Sapling Fort, on a peninsula in what is now Sitka, Alaska. In 1799, Russia dispatched a small army to seize Alaska and exploit its fur trade. However, the Tlingit bravely expelled them in 1802. Anticipating the Russians' return, the Tlingit spent 2 years constructing their wooden fort, which was trapezoidal in shape. When the Russians returned in 1804, the Tlingit courageously held off the Russian army and their Aleut allies for 5 days in a fierce battle. Their defense suffered a major blow when a canoe carrying gunpowder exploded on its way to the fort. Under the cover of night, the Tlingit clans escaped Shiskanu, crossing Baranov Island to reach Halibut Man Fort. After the Tlingits' retreat, the Russian and Aleut forces razed the abandoned fort, but not before meticulously mapping the site. The Russians then established a trading post, maintaining control of the region for over 60 years, until the United States purchased Alaska for just $7 million in 1867. Using geophysical imaging techniques and ground-penetrating radar, researchers from Cornell University and the National Park Service confirmed the existence of the long-lost fort. This rediscovery rekindles a deep sense of pride and reverence for the Tlingit's heroic stand, inspiring future generations to remember and honor their enduring legacy. Town under one roof. Imagine waking up late, but needing to get to work quickly without the hassle of a long commute. In Whittier, a coastal city in southern Alaska, this is entirely possible. Here, your home and your entire city are one and the same. Spanning about 51 square kilometers, Whittier is a truly unique town where everything, including the hospital, school, and city government, operates within a single self-sufficient structure, the Cold War-era Bagich Towers Incorporated. This 14-story building, known locally as BTI, resembles a massive condo complex you'd find in a big city. Inside BTI, you'll find essential businesses like a grocery store that stocks basic cooking and cleaning supplies. Need to send mail or report a crime? Just take the elevator down to the post office and police station. There's even a church in the basement. No matter the stormy weather or giant snowbanks outside, kids here get to school through underground tunnels connected to their building. With a year-round population of only about 220 residents, Whittier is a tight-knit community where everyone knows each other. In Whittier, the saying, "treat your neighbors as family," takes on a whole new meaning. Mind control facility. For years, scientists seeking to unlock the mysteries of the upper atmosphere have turned to a remote Alaskan facility known as the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, or HAARP. This cutting-edge transmitter array, one of the most powerful in the world, has been instrumental in studying fundamental natural processes occurring at the edge of our atmosphere. But this remote facility has been a target of suspicion and intrigue. In October 2016, a dramatic event unfolded when two men from Georgia were arrested with a small arsenal of weapons and a detailed plan. Their target was the HAARP facility, which they believed to be a clandestine mind control center. They were utterly convinced that HAARP was being used to manipulate the weather and brainwash the American public. It has been blamed for everything from earthquakes to the destruction of the space shuttle Columbia. It goes further in saying that it emits radio waves that could melt human brains. These beliefs drove their drastic actions. Looking at photos of the HAARP facility can give anyone the creeps, so it's no wonder it's been a magnet for speculation. The site itself is a massive setup, with 180 large antennas sprawled over 33 acres. Its remote location, 250 miles from Fairbanks and tucked away in the mountains, only adds to its eerie reputation. The fact that it has ties to the U.S. Air Force, Navy, and DARPA further fuels the mystique and feeds the conspiracy theories surrounding it. However, the government and scientists have repeatedly denied these claims, insisting that HAARP is just a research facility and nothing more. It's essentially just a larger, more powerful version of the radio frequency probes you can buy at an electronics store. Massive ice caves. Few places on Earth can rival the wonder of ice caves, and Alaska's vast landscapes are among the rare spots where you can witness this natural wonder. Stepping inside, one feels like entering another world. However, it's certainly not for the faint-hearted, as the environment is as dangerous as it is beautiful. These caves are natural formations created by meltwater streams flowing beneath glaciers, carving out intricate tunnels and chambers. This process involves a delicate balance between ice melting and refreezing, leading to a dynamic and ever-changing environment inside the glacier. These caves are seasonal and can change dramatically from one season to the next, or even within the same season. Because they're so unstable, exploring these subglacial wonders can be really risky and shouldn't be done without proper safety measures and guidance. The structural stability of these caves is constantly shifting, making it crucial to understand the glacier's current conditions and have the expertise to assess its safety. Without the right precautions, collapsing ice or shifting formations can be seriously dangerous for explorers. So if you're planning to check out these ice caves in the future, remember, explore at your own risk. Huge bloodthirsty mosquitoes. In Alaska, mosquitoes are so enormous that locals humorously refer to them as the state bird. The largest of these is the snow mosquito, which reaches the size of a full-grown American honeybee. Unlike their summer cousins, who either slumber or meet their end when the cold sets in, these pests continue their buzzing escapades through the winter months, thriving in conditions where others falter. These massive insects are impossible to miss due to their sheer size. But there's a catch. These swarms are incredibly aggressive. These massive insects are known to chase entire herds of caribou and can even drain a caribou of blood. If that's not downright terrifying, we don't know what is. So, if you're planning a trip to Alaska, don't forget to pack plenty of bug repellent. Mysterious Golden Orb. On a recent mission to explore the deep water habitats off the coast of Alaska, marine scientists came across something astonishing, a smooth golden orb lying on the seafloor. Is it a golden egg, or perhaps something alien? No one really knows for sure, but they all agree on one thing: they've never seen anything like it before. To investigate further, the team delicately tickled the mysterious orb with a remote vehicle, revealing its soft, skin-like texture. Using a gentle suction device, they carefully lifted the orb from its rocky resting place for closer examination. Measuring over 4 inches in diameter with a small tear near its base, suggests something has come in or gone out. Because of its fleshy texture, researchers are more inclined to believe that it's an egg of an unknown creature. But everyone agrees it doesn't look like any egg they've ever seen before. If it is an egg, the big question is, what laid it? It's pretty large, definitely not a small fish egg. The fact that this egg was found all by itself is just as fascinating as its size. Usually, animals that lay eggs do so in groups, so if it was an egg, it's definitely out of the ordinary. Whatever the mysterious orb turns out to be, it has something new to teach us about the deep ocean and the incredible life forms that inhabit it. If you're interested to know more about the rich history of other countries, be sure to watch our next video. Hope you like our story. Catch you in the next one.